The following program is being brought to you on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. For more information about our network and to check out additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit voiceamericaempowerment.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live Internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the following program are strictly those of the host or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by the Voice America Talk Radio Network, its staff, and management.
It's time to get your business in gear. Do you feel that sometimes you're in the right industry, but you're not attracting the right clients? Well, let's figure it out intimately with Tammeron is a 1-hour show presenting you with simple and basic tips to help you create a more intimate, fulfilling business and personal life. Now, here's your host, Tammeron.
Welcome to this fun-filled interactive hour with me, Tammeron. I've created this show to provide you, my listeners, with some of the top experts in the world who can help us all create more fun, passion, and intimacy back into our personal and professional lives. And after being an entrepreneur for, since I was 26 years old, raising my 2 kids, volunteering in my community, and privately educating myself through online courses, books, and self-development seminars, I realized that I have a huge range of knowledge to share with you. And as a motivational business speaker, my passion is to share my intimate stories, and it allows me to work authentically with other people in their business. And I also realize that I attract people just like me who are a divine mirror of my life. Entrepreneurs who are trying to find that healthy balance in their life. People who are visionaries, passionate, and highly energetic in nature. There are ups and downs to having all of this beautiful energy that swirls around us. And we tend to be very creative and have a million ideas whipping around in our heads. We love challenges. We want to work with other like-minded people and be successful. But sometimes there are issues that come up. Things like we attract many people who want to work with us or just hang out with us. And how do we manage ourselves and our time effectively? How do we represent ourselves in business to show our true brand? And how do we work effectively with other entrepreneurs to create affiliates, joint ventures, or even equal partnerships? This seems to be a huge trend right now. And join me as I interview amazing guests, offer live business coaching, and give you an opportunity to hear what coaching is all about in business. Many entrepreneurs believe that their business is different than someone else's, and I agree with this statement. Yet I want everyone to understand that the reason why you are successful or not in your business is because of how you think and feel about yourself. Your business as an entrepreneur is about whom you believe yourself to be. Using this as the core of your business, I can teach and help anyone how to make their business better. And if you'd like to call in or ask questions, the number is always toll free at 1-888-346-9141. You can also email me at tammeron@figureitoutlive.com or hit the email host button here on my homepage on voiceamerica.com. So for now, sit back and enjoy as we all learn how to become more intimate in your business to understand what is really going on. And this includes your personal relationships that become better as well. What a great way to live. So today there is no guest. It is just myself. So again, feel free to call in if you do have any questions. The number is 1-888-346-9141. So the last few weeks I've been talking a lot about what's been going on emotionally for a lot of people that I've been speaking to, clients I've been working with, some of the people that are involved in some of our business support groups here, because there seems to always be a common thread. And a lot of times, even though I'm listening to other people, I'm sharing my own stories because it seems like at times I'm going through the exact same things. But because I love to work with energy, working with Buckflower remedies, using things for grounding, getting advice from other people, reading great books. Again, these are all things that I call tools in my toolbox. And a lot of this information is what I share on my show quite regularly. So I'm continuing on the last 2 weeks. I talked a lot about some remedies that I would give myself and some of the people. And I've been taking the remedies myself because lately there's been a lot of upheaval for a lot of people. It's been in business, and I'm going to share this right now. If things are not working out the way you planned, You need to figure out why real fast, because I really feel like, a lot of people are going to soar into their greatness right now if they're using things to help stay balanced, how to, really, stay focused on your goals. We're going to be talking about that today on the show. And to really just pay attention to what's really happening. Sometimes we're so caught up in what we do want, but we're not paying attention to what's showing up. So I'm going to share some of my own personal stories today. I'm going to talk a little bit about some more remedies, some things that I feel are coming up as a result of the remedies that I've taken and some of the remedies that have people taken recently, and what I feel would be the next step. So I'm going to talk about 3 different remedies today later on in the show. Again, I'm going to share my own stories as to why and what I'm seeing in people. All right, so the title for today's show, because we're going to sort of combine a few different ideas in here, is plan time away from social media. And the reason why I really want to talk about this today is because I follow people on Facebook a lot. I follow a lot of business leaders. I follow a few personal people. Again, Facebook is funny. A lot of things that are happening with Facebook, you don't get to see all the people that you want to follow. It's getting very picky. So again, it's about limiting that time, and are you using it to manage your business, right? So we're going to talk about some great tips on how to use social media more effectively in order to really manage your time. Because what I'm noticing is a lot of people are just feeling overwhelmed right now. And there seems to be a lot of things that we feel we need to do as entrepreneurs. And so you really need to learn how to calm down, how to balance your time a little bit. And, some tips I'm going to share on what things can you do that are very cost effective, easy to do. Anyone can do it. You don't have to go out and buy things, but I will talk about a couple of products. Some people I've had on the show in the past who have some great products that can really help again. So if there's any information you guys would like from me further, I always remind you guys, go to my website, tammeronsplace.com. You can email me through there. You can ask questions. You can set up a time to speak with me, or you can click on the email host button here on my host page on Voice America and do it that way too, okay? So just a reminder as well, if you're listening today and if anything resonates with you, I do have my 3 business intimacy workshops. That is on my website as well, tammeronsplace.com. I'll honor 10% off anybody who lets me know that you found out about me through this radio show. Okay, so that's a sweet deal for you guys. That's $147 you save just on that 10%. It is in Canadian funds. Okay, so again, I'm just reviewing that I did talk a lot about some remedies the last few weeks. So what's been coming up for people? So we're unveiling a lot of the layers of, having to control things. Right now, what's sort of happening is that a lot of things it feels like things are going belly up for people. So I'm going to share some of my own stories as I go through some specific things on the show. But if that's what's happening, it means that there's something bigger and better that's waiting for you. And if you can let go of what you think you need to control, we've talked about even control very specifically on the show, then you're going to feel a lot calmer and you're going to be able to just, reground yourself. So I'm going to share some tips throughout the show about that as well. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about the social media, and it's creating this sense of overwhelm for people. So again, it's part of the reasons why I'm seeing people even, for example, using social media and finding it's not really working for them, seem to spend a lot of time. So you're going to have to find the correct social media that works directly for you. And when are you going to start delegating other people to do this? Okay, so it's very important in your business, because if you're wasting a lot of time on social media and you're not getting to the tasks at hand that really make the money, then you're going to need to think about that. Okay, so we're going to talk about that more in detail. So I just want to, mention here the ease at which we can use this technology is great, but it can exasperate us. Just like I mentioned, you can get really overwhelmed. We can now quickly shoot off an email at the dinner table or while we're lying in bed, but these obsessive behaviors are going to start getting us feeling a sense of overwhelm. And it's going to affect your personal life as well. And we don't want that, because as an entrepreneur, we know there's already that struggle on how to balance how much time we're spending in our business and is it interfering in our personal life. And when we're with our family or our friends, are we answering emails that are connected to our business? And I know it's tough, as an entrepreneur, we've got to figure that out. Okay. So, so with all this in mind, coupled with the notion that technology plays into our desires for these little rewards, like how often do you feel satisfied when someone likes a post or follows you? It can be a good thing, but it can also create some anxiety, some sleepless nights, and stress for some people. So pay attention to what's going on and how you're using social media, because for me, I get a lot of comments privately. I put a lot of vulnerable things up on Facebook, and I get the private messages coming in, and sometimes they're great messages, people supporting me, and a lot of times people have something negative to say. And my response is, if you don't like what I have to say, then don't follow me. So be careful if you're using social media. Again, use it as a way of support, representing yourself and your business. But, if it's causing you anxiety and these people are lashing out at you, think twice about, or not think twice, but you want to think about, unfriending some of these people, because we don't need that. You got to stay focused, and you got to stay positive. Okay, so if you feel like this technology is kind of taking over your life, it might be time to start practice being human again, with some ways to really let go of this social media chaos. And that's what I'm going to be sharing a little bit more specifically throughout the show today. So before I go for my first break, I don't want to get into it because I'm going to be sharing some different things. So I'll wait till after I get back from this first commercial break, because it's going to be on in about a minute. So I'll just remind you guys, if you do have any questions right now, remember to go to my website, tammeronsplace.com. Check out some of the business workshops there. We've got Who Am I Am the Expert, and my full 6-hour business intimacy program. Again, I love to work with people one-on-one. I find it's more effective. You really get the most for your money, rather than sitting in a large room, so I can really sit down and just help you. I've transformed people's lives by sitting down with them for 6 hours, and a lot of testimonies behind that, to say to people, like, I unleashed something in them, or they felt the magic in themselves come alive. And it's really just because I have that gift of really understanding people. And sometimes when we're caught up in things that aren't working, you just need someone third party to really decipher through all that stuff. All right. So very, very powerful process. All right. So it's that time. I'm going to take my first break right now. And when I get back, I'm going to be sharing 5 or 6 ways to really unplug from social media that are going to be effective and cost effective as well. All right. So more after the break.
Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN.
Do you feel that you are in the right industry of serving others, yet you are not attracting as many clients as you would like? Magic happens when anyone brands their true self as the forefront of their business. I am currently looking for entrepreneurs who know they have a calling, yet feel as though something is missing. Yes, sometimes we're in our business every day that we can't see our own gifts and uniqueness, and that is where I come in. My gift as an entrepreneur is that I was struggling with the same issue, so I hired other business coaches to help me see what I couldn't. It was an enduring, difficult self-discovery, but it was well worth it. It catapulted me to capture my talents and use them to help other entrepreneurs. And here's how I can help you in a way that is so unique, authentic, and super fun. I am looking for guests to be live on my radio show who are willing to share what they feel is their biggest problem in their business. And I will help you figure out what is the core issue and catapult your business forward. Contact me, Tammeron, through my host page on Let's Figure It Out Intimately on the Empowerment Channel now.
Have you ever noticed that sometimes life just feels easier, especially when judgment of you or anyone else ceases to exist? What if you could function from that space all the time? What if gratitude is the key? Every time you are grateful for someone or something, a new universe opens up. What difference can you create in your life and the world from the energy, space, and consciousness of gratitude? Join us on Access Consciousness Presents Beyond Saying Thank You every Tuesday at 12 noon Pacific Time on the Voice America Empowerment Channel.
Your favorite Voice America Talk Radio Network shows and hosts are in your car, outdoors, and wherever you need them to be. Listen anywhere. Get our mobile app for iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android at the Apple iTunes App Store, BlackBerry App World, or Android Market.
You've tuned into Let's Figure It Out Intimately with your host, Tammeron. Want to be a guest live on her show? Email Tammeron at figureitoutlive.com. If you'd like to call into today's program, please call us at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. This is Tammeron, and you're listening to Let's Figure It Out Intimately here on the Empowerment Channel. So just want to remind you, if you'd like to follow me on Facebook, my business page is Tammeron's Place for updates for events and workshops. Personal page is Tammeron Karam, so you can find me there. And again, you can find this information out through my website, tammeronsplace.com. And you can also connect with me on Twitter, and my YouTube channel is there as well. And I've also launched a business partnership this past month. I guess it's been 4 or 5 weeks now. This will be our 5th week. It's called Tonic. So you can follow us on Facebook on there as well. Website is almost ready to go. It's our organic smoothie and juice bar here in Bellefountain, Ontario, which we're only open for the weekends, spring till fall, and you come in, everything is handmade, organic, gluten and dairy free, and we make it right there in front of you. So lots of cool stuff, and we've got some special drinks with some special recipes that we share with our customers coming in. So yeah, come in and visit if you're local. All right, so here we go. I'm going to talk about some ways to really unplug from this social media. I see a lot of people just stuck on it, and I've had to unplug myself too. I've had to hire someone to actually put some posts up for me. We program the posts, and yeah, it just eases my pressure and allows me to stay focused on where I make money, all right? Because social media is great, but it's used for a lot of free stuff, and I just, I don't see a lot of money coming. It's nice having all these people in this community around you, but is that a good chunk of your day where you're spending your day? So I'm here to help you guys get away from it a little bit more. All right, so it's not really the technology we need to break from. It's the distractions that we need from the technology. So what I've sort of done myself is decide when I'm going to put posts on, what time, how much time am I going to spend looking at other people's stuff and responding to it. Again, what I can't stand is the tagging. To me, that's like spam. So I've actually gone out and messaged people and asked them to stop tagging me. There's nothing worse than my phone going off every couple of seconds because somebody's tagged 60, 70 people and you're seeing all the responses. It drives me crazy, and it's the same people doing it over and over and over again. So I've had to actually ask people to stop. They don't like it when I ask them to stop, but it gets to be a little bit much. So again, these distractions pull you away from what it is that you're trying to do. So, don't be afraid to say, hey, I don't want to be included. And again, even myself and some other people have shared, sometimes you really got to unfriend people on social media. So it's not always fun when you keep getting messages from people that are very negative or derogatory or sarcastic as well, too. So it's not fun when you're trying to promote yourself on social media for your business, okay? So that's one way of doing it. And also another thing I want to talk about is, practice what it is that you want to say, follow a theme, use it in your business, and allot yourself how much time you're going to use responding to some of this stuff, because let's face it, you get caught up in it, and before you know it, half your day is gone and you haven't accomplished anything because you've been sitting on social media, okay? So if you're finding that, it pulls you away still too much, literally turn it off on your computer. A lot of people have it on their phones, they have it on their computer right at their desk, and it's a habit to keep looking up to see what's going on. So get in the habit of actually turning it right off, okay? Break down your day a little bit more into categories. So this is what I've been doing myself, and it's actually been really effective because I have a business partnership, I have my own personal coaching, I've got other things that I offer in my business. I'm a mom, I've got a dog I've got to look after, I've got a piece of property, so it goes on and on. So what I've done is I've actually broken down so many hours within the day where I feel that are adequate for me to work on aspects of my business, and within that time frame I'm going to give so much time allotted for social media. And if I've got extra time at the end of the day, and if I feel like sitting on there and checking out what other people are doing or whatever, trying to support some of my personal friends or whatever, that's just a bonus, okay? But I do it after the workday is done and I've got things completed. So what I've been doing is breaking down my day into specific time frames, and then within that time frame I actually have not huge lists, but I have a small list of priorities, things that I need to accomplish within that day so that I can get things done. Because a lot of times we have dreams and hopes and wishes and goals, but if we aren't setting these little stepping stones for ourselves, we never seem to get there. And we get caught up in this whole social media world and running around and networking and stuff, and you just feel like you're always running around on a circle. So you're doing a lot, but it's just not going anywhere. So I see a lot of people doing that. I've been caught in it myself sometimes, but it's like, nope, I just don't feel like I'm being very effective, so I need to back off. Okay, so it's really, really important when you start looking at your day. And if you were to take a schedule of even a 9 to 5 time frame, which is 8 hours, and you break it down and you literally say to yourself, okay, within 2 hours, I feel like I could accomplish this or accomplish that. And if you don't, why? Was it because you got distracted, or were you seriously working on the specific thing that you set the goal for? Okay, so if you're finding that you can't be less distracted, then try writing a little bit or try taking some walks throughout the day to really ground your energy. And we're going to talk about this at the end of the show, the tips that I can give you guys to get grounded, because with all this technology around us, it affects so much of our body, and we don't realize what's actually going on. So there's all this anxiety and uneasiness around it as well. Okay, so you need to pay attention to what's really going on, because it's like this little addiction, and we all have addictions. We have addictions to addictions. It's just crazy. So when you can honor and say, yeah, that's what I have, then you can do something about it. It's when you're denying it and you're saying, oh, no, that's not me. You're not really looking at the time you're spending. Then, it can get out of control. So it's really important for you to really honor that. Okay, so this may sound weird of what I'm going to talk about now, but it's about resetting these cycles within your body. Now, this is based on a lot of, ancient philosophies. Our bodies are following a rhythm. Our bodies are following the rhythm of the earth. They're also following rhythms within the time we were born. At the time that we were born, say for example, if you're born in June, your winter isn't necessarily in December. Your winter season is actually around your birthday. So it's very interesting when I teach this to people, and you've got to understand these cycles of the rhythms in your body. And when you're on a natural rhythm, we have these cycles of waking and when we're supposed to be sleeping, in order for us to stay alive. So technology is always on. It's the opposite of this. And so when we're connected to this technology all the time, our natural rhythms to our body will get out of whack. It's like it's always going. The technology is always going, and we don't isolate ourselves from it. So are you somebody that walks around with your cell phone on all the time? Do you respond to messages, as soon as they come in? Or do you, not wear it. Like, I don't personally wear my phone on me. I keep it nearby, but I will check it when I have time, or if I hear it go off. And a lot of times when I'm working, my cell phone isn't actually turned on. It's on, but it's on silent, because I need to stay focused on what I'm doing. And so if you can learn how to just, honor these rhythms of your own natural body, you're going to find you're not going to get so distracted by all of this technology and all this stuff. So it sounds worse than it is, but it's hard to turn off your laptop or your phone if that's really is a big chunk of how you run your business. But you need to start learning how to tone it down and turn it off, because it's creating a lot of anxiety for a lot of people, and I'm seeing it. And so with a lot of this overwhelm that's happening with people and just feeling like they're not getting ahead in their business, you got to start breaking it down and understanding why, okay? So again, if this is causing a lot of anxiety, it's going to be triggering a lot of other emotional things too, and maybe some physical things like not sleeping as well, don't feel as rested, you don't feel as productive in your day as you could be, okay? Technology is amazing. I'm not knocking it, but we got to learn how to balance it out, okay? And it's really hard if that's, what you're used to. I know for some people, the first thing they do when they get up in the morning is they check their emails, all right? So it's not always fun. Sometimes I get caught up in that too, but I'd rather check my emails later on after I've sort of done my thing and meditate and, sit and have a cup of coffee and just sort of focus on my goals for the day before I start running to a computer to see, what emails are coming in, all right? So we're human. We got to get back to that humanness within us. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the next topic, but I won't get into it too much because I'm going to share with you after the next commercial break, which we've got coming up in about a minute or so here. I've kind of touched on a little bit, but you got to reflect on those goals. And I'm going to share a personal story when we get back after the break. But you've got to take time to really reflect on what it is that you want. What successes have you had that are moving you towards your goals? And have you achieved it? Or, do you need to really sort of look at things again and reevaluate it? And that's really what I'm going to talk about today, because sometimes as we're working towards things and using social media, it will change how our business is sort of moving. And so we really want to make sure that, we're staying focused on those goals. Okay, so it's really, really important. So what I'm going to do is share with you a personal story when we get back. And I just want to remind you, this is Tammeron. You're listening to Let's Figure It Out Intimately here on the Empowerment Channel. So stay tuned for more after this break.
Have you friended us on Facebook yet?
Why not?
Just go to facebook.com/Voice America or search for the keywords Voice America. Once you are part of our Facebook network, you'll receive daily messages about what's happening with our shows, this week's featured guests, and new happenings at the Voice America Talk Radio Network. And you can add your voice to the always active discussions on our timeline. Just go to facebook.com/Voice America or search for Voice America.
Do you feel that you are in the right industry of serving others, yet you are not attracting as many clients as you would like? Magic happens when anyone brands their true self as the forefront of their business. I am currently looking for entrepreneurs who know they have a calling, yet feel as though something is missing. Yes, sometimes we're in our business every day that we can't see our own gifts and uniqueness, and that is where I come in. My gift as an entrepreneur is that I was struggling with the same issue, so I hired other business coaches to help me see what I couldn't. It was an enduring, difficult self-discovery, but it was well worth it. It catapulted me to capture my talents and use them to help other entrepreneurs. And here's how I can help you in a way that is so unique, authentic, and super fun. I am looking for guests to be live on my radio show who are willing to share what they feel is their biggest problem in their business. And I will help you figure out what is the core issue and catapult your business forward. Contact me, Tammeron, through my host page on Let's Figure It Out Intimately on the Empowerment Channel now.
You need to live up to your full potential. You've heard that for years, but now there's a channel to help you get there.
Introducing the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Our listeners have told us that they want to be motivated, hear about success stories, and positive encouragement around the clock. And we've responded to you. The Voice America Empowerment Channel is the home of the world's top life coaches, entrepreneurs, and success experts. Listen to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. It's here at voiceamericaempowerment.com.
The future of online TV is here. View exclusive content from your favorite talk radio hosts and new programs that you can't see anywhere else. Visit voiceamerica.tv today.
You've tuned into Let's Figure It Out Intimately with your host, Tammeron. Want to be a guest live on her show? Email Tammeron at figureitoutlive.com. If you'd like to call into today's program, please call us at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. It's Tammeron. You're listening to Let's Figure It Out Intimately here on the Empowerment Channel. I forgot to share with you my tarot cards that I pulled today for the show. I usually pull different ones. Today, again, I felt like I needed to pull some cards from T. Harv Eker's deck. It's all business and the mindset of people who make a lot of money. So I actually felt like I needed to pull two. So before I share my story, this is what they say. This one says, develop the characteristics of success. So it says, to get rich and stay rich, develop the following characteristics: a positive attitude, integrity, trustworthiness, courage, persistence, a hardworking mentality, high energy, and be an expert in at least one area. So very true. A lot of people say they can do just about anything for you and they'll sell you anything. And I've seen that a lot. So yeah, I'd like to know what do you love doing? You know, what's your expertise? We all have passion out there. And for me, I love to help people who are actually entrepreneurs. So not big corporate people working in that world, unless they're thinking of getting out the corporate world and they're thinking of becoming an entrepreneur. That's where I can help them, because I really help people zone in on their expertise and to really look at their life, and to find out who they really are through their archetypes, and to look at their stories and to find out where the lemons are where the lemonade is there with all those lemons. A lot of people are still stuck in their victim stories, and I really help to pull them out of it and to see, the gifts in there, and to use those gifts as a way to use it in your business. Okay, that's where we could have 50,000 real estate agents, but I bet you're all meant to work with different people if you tune into yourself and not just anybody, not just looking for a client. So I believe that all of our clients are a mirror of ourselves. So when we look at ourselves, meaning into me, I see. So look at yourself, then you'll understand who your true client is, who's your true target market. So that's my level of expertise. And again, I do find when people do start to become more intimate with themselves, their personal relationships and their sexual relationship do tend to get better, because they're seeing a side of themselves that maybe they didn't give themselves permission to see. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it because it's a pattern of things that people share with me, the stories people tell me, they come back and say this happened in their life. They may have come to me about their business, but their personal life got better, or their sex life got better. Or sometimes people come to me about problems in their sex life and their business gets better. So, hey, they tend to go hand in hand for me. And that is a mirror of my life as well. So the last card I want to share with you is be willing to do what's hard. That is a good one. That was me today. I hate doing paperwork when it comes to taxes and accounting and stuff like that. It's not that I can't do it. I don't enjoy it that much. So I'm very good at math. It's easy for me, but I'd rather be standing there touching food and talking to people. So again, sometimes you got to do it. You just got to do it because you don't have the people here to help you. So if you're not willing to do what's easily, life will be hard. But if you're willing to do what's hard, life will be easy. So again, thank you to T. Harv Eker. I love his stuff, and I've read his book, and I've attended a lot of his actual business workshops and personal workshops too. So T. Harv Eker, Secrets to the Millionaire Mind. Really good book. Okay, he does a lot in Canada and the States, but I know he's been in Europe off and on too. I don't follow him as much anymore, but I do follow him on Facebook. So again, I love all those positive quotes, little things for you to remember. Okay, so I'm going to get back to what I was talking about before the last break, where we're talking a little about reflecting on your goals. Now, we're talking about social media as well. So what I'm trying to share with you here is that, okay, we have goals. If you're someone who has your goals and you don't find you're reaching your goals, or maybe your goals have gone in a different direction, make sure you're using social media in a way where it's going to be effective for you to get to these goals. And again, I want to say it like this. If you're using social media to promote your business, make sure that what you're talking about, even if it's got a personal tone to it, is reflecting what you do in your business. So if you're on Facebook and you're using Facebook to promote your business, and yet you're talking about, I don't know, what you ate or whatever, if it really doesn't have anything to do with your business, people are going to get bored and they're going to stop following you. So for me, because that's what I do for a living, making recipes, we've got the tonic thing here, and we might be trying new recipes, or I might be eating something personally and saying, would you guys like to come out? Should I put this in the smoothie bar or whatever? That's validated. But if it doesn't have anything to do with what you're doing in your business, be careful. Are you using social media for your personal life, or are you using it for business? So, just be careful, okay? Use that time effectively if you're using it to really reach your goals, to really get people involved in your business or to understand what it is that you do. Okay, so even on this, what I'm going to share with you is that even now with me for goals, because I write everything down, what I realized in the first 6 months, I'm going to say first 4.5 to 5 months, I had set some goals for my business, and I was keeping track of them, and I had them broken down as to where I was going each month, what I wanted to accomplish, if I accomplished those goals or not. And what I found was that all of a sudden this new partnership popped up, and it sort of manifested itself. And so what I've realized lately is that it took up a lot more time than what I had anticipated. So I felt like a lot of my other goals weren't being reached. And so what I had to realize was that probably some of the goals that I had set before are actually a part of this new business, but I just need to be careful of how it is that I'm wording and reaching these goals, because I honestly believe we get everything we ask for. Sometimes things show up in different packages. And so I had to sit back and relax instead of worrying about what wasn't happening, about stuff that I wrote down, and to realize that it is actually happening. And I have to have faith in some of those things that I wrote down, in some of these goals. And so when I realized that opening this new business with someone, even though it was part-time, that some of my goals are actually going to be fulfilled. And when I realized that, then I started to calm down, and I felt like there was less pressure. I felt like I wasn't so overwhelmed, and I gave myself permission to relax a little bit. And so what I decided to do was to go back and break down my schedule that I talk about. So break down where I'm spending most of my time, and allot so much time throughout the day to still focus on this new business so that it's functional and it's working well, and to really give more time for myself first, because I was feeling anxious. And I was talking about this in the last couple of shows where I'd given myself some of these remedies, and so those remedies have kicked in. And actually what's happening now is that I've realized that one of the goals that I actually wrote in the beginning of the year, what's happening now is some of these other things are being pushed aside, because that one specific goal about me writing and actually writing my book, I've written the first draft. What it's doing with me having we start this business partnership was that it's giving me time to continue writing, and I didn't see it. I didn't see the value of the time that it was creating for me so that I can write do some really great writing during the summer months because I'm brilliant at this time of year. Because I'm a January baby, so the summer months I'm full of creativity. It's when things are flowering. It's when we're blossoming and very creative for someone like me who's a Capricorn. So you need to understand these natural rhythms that I talked a little bit about earlier on the show. So with that in mind, I can use this time productively, knowing and having faith that the money will come in another way, shape, or form, while I can continue to still run this other business on the side. Because many of us are entrepreneurs, we don't just have one business. Sometimes we're juggling a couple of them because we're highly creative people. And I tend to attract people like that who are doing more than one thing. They're connected, but people sometimes who are highly creative really need to have more than one thing on the go because we just feel lost if we're only working on one thing. We could be focusing on one thing, but once we sort of get it up and organized, we've already got ideas for the next project that we're working on. That could still be a part of our main business, but it's already, the wheels are in motion. So if that resonates with you, I totally get it. So I guarantee if you're looking at your sheets every day, if you've written things down, your goal setting, it's there. You just maybe didn't see it. Okay, so this was my big aha for me. Okay, so you need to change and adapt to what it is that's showing up. So that's what I had to do. I had to change my time, figure things out, and then sort of decide, okay, what am I going to be doing to balance myself, to ground myself? And some of these things are what I'm going to be talking about in the last part of the show. So what I want to share with you right now is these remedies, because I told you guys, if you're listening to me last week, I was going to share with you what came up last week and what I felt was coming up now, because I got a few minutes before I can jump into the next commercial break. So there was 3 remedies that I've noticed that are occurring for me and for the people around me. And it's really, really important to understand why. So there was scleranthus. Okay, scleranthus is when you can't concentrate, because right now people seem really overwhelmed, and all this social media stuff I'm hearing from people, they just can't seem to focus. So if you take scleranthus, which is a Bach flower remedy, you're going to be able to have way more concentration. Okay, so you can balance out that energy in your body. Clematis is when sometimes we get so far away from our goals or what it is that we're thinking about, we actually start creating an image of something that's not real. So we're not very grounded. So we start imagining things that aren't real, and we start pushing ourselves forward, and you know what? That's not real. So you need to come back and you need to get grounded using the remedy clematis, okay? And that way you can listen a lot better. So when you're looking for advice or trying to figure out what you need to do, you need to take clematis. The last one is vervain. Okay, so people who need vervain are people that are so passionate that they push themselves to extreme, and then they can't use their energy properly. Okay, so again, be careful of this. If you're around all this technology and phones going off and PMFs and all this electromagnetic energy, okay, because it can actually affect your emotional body. Okay, so those are the 3: vervain, clematis, and scleranthus. Okay, so it is time for my last break, so I'm going to share some more tips with you after, and we'll close up the show with ways that you can stay grounded as well that aren't going to cost a lot of money. So remember, this is Tammeron, and you're listening to Let's Figure It Out Intimately here on the Empowerment Channel, so stay tuned for more after the last break.
The future of online TV is here. View exclusive content from your favorite talk radio hosts and new programs that you can't see anywhere else. Visit voiceamerica.tv today.
When you make decisions, do you ever find yourself in doubt? Are you trying to figure out what's right with you? Are you ready to truly change your life? Listen for the Access Consciousness radio show with the founders of Access Consciousness, Gary Douglas and Dr. Dane Heer. Consciousness is all about including everything and judging nothing. Our program will help you break free from your personal limitations and enhance positive change in all areas of your life. Tune in to Access Consciousness, Thursdays at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern on Voice America Empowerment.
Do you feel that you are in the right industry of serving others, yet you are not attracting as many clients as you would like? Magic happens when anyone brands their true self as the forefront of their business. I am currently looking for entrepreneurs who know they have a calling, yet feel as though something is missing. Yes, sometimes we're in our business every day that we can't see our own gifts and uniqueness, and that is where I come in. My gift as an entrepreneur is that I was struggling with the same issue, so I hired other business coaches to help me see what I couldn't. It was an enduring, difficult self-discovery, but it was well worth it. It catapulted me to capture my talents and use them to help other entrepreneurs. And here's how I can help you in a way that is so unique, authentic, and super fun. I am looking for guests to be live on my radio show who are willing to share what they feel is their biggest problem in their business. And I will help you figure out what is the core issue and catapult your business forward. Contact me, Tammeron, through my host page on Let's Figure It Out Intimately on the Empowerment Channel now.
Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN.
You've tuned into Let's Figure It Out Intimately with your host, Tammeron. Want to be a guest live on her show? Email Tammeron at figureitoutlive.com. If you'd like to call into today's program, please call us at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. This is Tammeron. You're listening to Let's Figure It Out Intimately here. So I just want to remind you again, if you feel like I can support you in your business as an entrepreneur, remember to go to my website, tammeronsplace.com. I will offer 10% off just knowing that you found me through this show. So remember, you can click on the email host button here on this host page, and that email goes directly to me. We're talking about social media. How do we plan time away from social media if we're feeling a little bit scrambled? A lot of anxiety is happening for people and just finding it just a little bit too much overwhelm. If you can't delegate, what are you going to do? Okay, so I talked about some remedies just before the break, the Bach flower remedies, which again, really to help you get grounded, get focused, get out of your head a little bit if you're too far off the notch. And they are scleranthus, clematis, and vervain, which are Bach flower remedies. Again, you'll see that on my website. I am a certified practitioner of this, so I give them out a lot to entrepreneurs. It's a bonus in the private consultations, but a lot of people love it because you could be using medication, you can be using homeopathy, you can be using it with anything. They're very natural, no side effects, and very, very effective. Okay. So what are some of the things that I'm going to share with you guys right now that you can balance your energy and reground yourself? Watch your thoughts. That's a big one. Believe it or not, if you're not thinking in present time, you're worried about the past or what if, or this isn't happening, or that's not happening, or what am I going to do, blah, 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 or so worried about, the doom and gloom. Guess what you create? You create it. Okay? So things will show up for you where you're not going to get the goals met. Yoga, Tai Chi, again, very simple. You can buy videos, simple things that you can use in the time frame in your own home or take a class. Massage is awesome. That's actually my first choice. I would go to massage before taking yoga class just because I love it. I find it very grounding. I do have a personal massage therapist who became a good friend, whose energy is very clean, and I feel incredible after getting a massage from her. So it really, really helps. One of the other great things we can do right now, it is summer, depending on where you live, walk around barefoot. When we're barefoot, we actually connect to the energy in the earth, and that energy is extremely grounding. So, if you can do it, go for it. I'm barefoot as much as I can be in the summer, and even a lot of the times in the winter, I do walk around barefoot. I even wear, I'm barefoot even with my winter boots on. So when I arrive at people's houses, sometimes I have to bring my socks. So I just love that sensation of being barefoot and being able to touch the ground and the earth. Another thing you can do is, even if you are barefoot or not, if you work in an office or you're, on the cement all the time, is just imagine the roots shooting out from your feet into the earth. When you have the sensation of roots moving down, you can also do it, imagine it from the area at the base of your spine, your base chakra, the very bottom area of your spine, so that's near your anal area. Imagine the roots shooting into the earth and you'll ground yourself, okay? It's very, very effective. It sounds weird, but I say to people, you don't need to pay to do this. It's a simple technique to learn. And another one, what I love this time of year, is take up gardening. Touch the earth, touch the dirt, touch the flowers. Anything that's connected to Mother Earth is very, very grounding. Even animals, petting the animals who are on the ground, who are outside, like your dog. If your dog's outside all day, that is also very grounding. Okay, so it can really, really help. Some of the things that might cost a bit of money, again, I've had this person on my show twice. She is the Canadian president of, what is the name of it? PMF Global. So go to pmfglobal.com. It's a national website, and look at the technology, the grounding technology of the IMRS machine. They've now got new machines that are coming out, and in fact, in Canada, they're being recognized as they're waiting for the passing, so it can be considered what's the word I'm looking for? A medical device in Canada. So again, this technology is amazing. That's why I've had her on my show. I actually personally own 2 of these units of the IMRS machine. And it's fascinating technology. So I actually ground myself on these in the morning and at night. I only use about 8 minutes unless I have a little bit time longer, and it's extremely grounding. I set my goals. I, meditate while I'm using it, and it's quite fascinating how this technology works if you're not outside touching the earth. Okay, so I just love it. So I'm going to recap a little bit about the show because I've shared quite a bit of information with you guys today. And one of the things I just want to ask you is understand why you're using social media. Are you using it to gain attention in your personal life? Is it there is something, like I said early in the beginning of the show, are you using to see how many people like your posts? Do you have this need to have all these people who like you? Or are you actually using it to promote your business? So be very mindful of how you're using social media. A lot of people, we get this a lot, personal messages, people looking for dates, that kind of stuff. I get so many messages of people doing this that I don't even answer them anymore. It's just so crazy. All these private messages, lonely people looking for dates. And it's very obvious that I use social media for my business. So it can get crazy. It's overwhelmed. So we're overwhelmed when we're inside using social media. We're overwhelmed when you're outside, you're doing all this networking and stuff. We've really got to learn how to balance out our energy, because as an entrepreneur, it's so, so important, because we can just take over our lives. And we hate to see that happen, because I'm seeing more and more people becoming entrepreneurs, and we really do want to be successful. The world is changing very, very fast. And so I hope that some of the tools and some of the tips that I've offered you here today, that you take at least something home with you and you start using it. So again, if you do have any questions and you would like to contact me, please do so. Go to my website, tammeronsplace.com. You can contact me there. You can send me a message, or again, you can hit the email host button here on my host page, and that goes directly into my email inbox. And I will offer the 10% off any of my business intimacy workshops from this radio show. Just let me know that is how you found me. So it is that time already. It always goes by so fast when I'm here by myself. So I just want to say thank you so much for taking that time out of your day to spend it with me, and I hope you've resonated or you feel compelled to listen listen again to the recorded version or share this with your friends. Always remember that my life is the same as yours. I'm not perfect, but I just love to share my stories of challenges. I genuinely want us all to become successful so we can live happier and more fulfilling lifestyles. It requires some courage, communication, and most of all, some fun. So no matter what we need or we feel we need, I believe it can be accomplished in a comfortable, relaxing, and a safe place, just like right here. So remember to come back next week for another great show with me, Tammeron, on Let's Figure It Out Intimately. So cheers for now.
Thank you again for listening to Let's Figure It Out Intimately. Please join Tammeron again next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Let's figure it out intimately. Again.